and welcome to The Silver Lining, the weekly geekly talk show where we discuss normally whatever we want to talk about, whatever topic I decide, but there's some controversy about the topic that I was going to finally talk about emulators and stuff, and I'm like, I'm still not ready to have that conversation. It's the super awesome Greg show starring Greg and friends. Greetings, true believers. Oh, wait, I can't. I think that one was already taken. ASMR. That was not me eating, by the way. That was me drinking, and then I crushed a plastic bottle because I'm super strong. I crushed a plastic bottle. Yeah. I don't know. But hello everybody. Hello, I play Spider, Lady Foxheart rocks, Flipnote, but I saw Flipnote left, Stephen C, Shadow, whoever else happens to be here. Hello. Minion, what's going on? We literally just started. I just came in. Yeah, we're discussing my my ASMR bottle crushing skills that were I don't know if they were pleasing to everybody, but so they were. I think that's my biggest problem is that the microphone and everything stay, unless I remember to turn it off. When I go to switch to like the Be Right Back screen or anything, my mic stays on. I got Life is Strange and Hollow Knight for super cheap. Very nice, very nice. I didn't pick up anything this week. A lot of the time I started out by showing you if I picked up anything for the week. I don't think I got anything. Time to draw ludes and interact with chat. Yeah, hey Mendez, what's going on? Yeah, okay. All right. Doesn't involve ASMR bottle crushing. It does now, Spider. I didn't. I tried to have a topic ready. First of all, I apologize for last week. Something happened on Twitter, and I was just very annoyed. So I just kind of, I had already had some other stuff going on. I wasn't feeling too well, and then that stuff happened on Twitter, and it was like a simple thing, but because it happened, I was just kind of pissed off. I was just in a bad mood. You're welcome to discuss. What do you feel is Spider? People seem to get very worked up about emulators are kind of like politics in a way where people are rooted in what they believe and that's it. Like they're locked in place, and the more you try and have a discussion with people, I feel like there's people out there that I don't know if they take it personally or whatever it is, but they get dug in with their thinking. Thank you, CT. Yeah, I still feel a little bit better. I still feel kind of under the weather. I'm able to function, which is very nice. I'm able to move around. I'm able to work and stuff. I still am not going to be active anytime soon, which sucks because the weather has been a kind of nice for early morning hiking, and I'm just not at a point where I can do that. It's supposed to get hot again next week, but I think only for a few days, and it's supposed to drop again. So. But thank you everyone, and thank you for the concern. I generally don't get sick too badly. What I'm trying to do now though is, I used to be the one that was at work, like doubled over sick. And because I work in an area, but not a cubicle, like I work in a small ticket office by myself. So and I use hand sanitizer and stuff. So it's safe for me to work with other people because there's glass between it. Like I won't get people sick. If I worked in an office environment, I would take off more if I was sick. But I don't. So I usually am the one that goes to work and I'm got all my medicine there, and I'm just trying to stay awake and not make a mistake while I'm all groggy. I'm trying to get out of that. I'm trying to take a little bit better care of myself and to relax more, especially when I start getting sick. I know how I get sick. I know the routine that I go through. So I try and take the day that I'm usually the worst and take off of work and relax. You know, I have personal days. I don't like using personal days for being sick, but it is what it is. But yes, thank you everybody for your concern about that. Based on the viral discussion tension for last week, I can understand that. Yeah, we're all mature here, kind of. I mean, emulators just play ROMs. Well, Steven, see the ROM discussion. Actually, the emulator discussion is very interesting too. But oh, Jesus, hold on. My mouse went crazy. Was EMU discuss? No, Mendez, we did not have an episode last week. I wasn't feeling super well for a number of reasons, so we canceled last week's show. I hope that everybody did what I asked and took that 2 hours to go on Twitter, on Twitch, and look up some other streamers and stuff. If you didn't, that's fine. I am someone who, if I have plans and my plans are first of all, I'm an introvert, so if I have canceled plans, that's like heaven to me. But I am someone who will hear canceled plans and not make new plans. Like, oh, well, the plans are canceled, so you can do that. No, now I'm not going to do anything. So I would hope that everybody went and checked out some other people. Go to your favorite game, scroll down to the bottom and watch somebody down there. But if you don't, that's totally fine. Is your office homey or my office isn't very homey. It is me in an office chair, but I do have like a mini fridge and a microwave and a coffee maker. And it's all my own. I don't work with anybody else. If I'm not there, like if I'm off for whatever reason, someone else will cover me. But 5 days a week, it's just me. And when I leave, that's it. Nobody else comes in. So it's my own personal space. Yeah, there was no silver lining last week. Review, self-care always. Yeah, I'm in Spider. You know what? Self-care always. I'm learning that a lot more than I ever did. I think I've discovered the secret to life, and the secret to life is there's two secrets to life. Here are the secrets to life. You ready? Number 1, find balance between work and play that works for you. Number 2, disrupt that balance and play more than you work. And then selling emulators, replacing viruses on them. I feel we can handle the discussion, but I understand. I disagree with Ted sometimes, but I love him for having his own opinion. Yeah, I mean, I think we can. I mean, see here. Okay, so here's the thing with I'm gonna dip my toe in here while if a new conversation comes up from this, we will figure it out. But I am gonna dip my toe in this. As far as the legality of ROMs and emulators go, there is no question that that is something they're not supposed to be doing. It is someone else's intellectual property. Actually, you know what? I will have a discussion with you guys about something, not about this particularly, because this leads into what happened last week, and I will actually talk about that with you. Mendez, yes, I am going to a video game con. I believe so anyway. I'm like 99% sure. When it comes to the legality of the ROMs and stuff, it's someone else's intellectual property. That's in a courtroom setting. That's the way it's going to be. There's no question of that. I do think that there is a lot to be said about the role that they have played in keeping retro gaming healthy and companies' abilities to capitalize on that. You know, Nintendo and Super Nintendo, I feel like, will always have had some sort of popularity. But we can't deny that they have maintained and even grown their popularity because of access to emulators. So now when you see sales numbers and the Super Nintendo Classic and the NES Classic are selling like hotcakes, you know that part of that has to be that there is, 40s and 50 somethings and even late 30 somethings. Yeah, they had access to those when they were around, so they'd be getting them now. But when you see a teenager or even early 20s buying an SNES Classic because they love those games, I'm guaranteeing you they were first introduced to those games possibly by a parent that has all of that stuff, but more than likely through emulators. So any sale to somebody like a teenager for an NES Classic or SNES Classic, or they bought games on the virtual shop or anything like that, a lot of the time that's can be attributed to kids that play emulators, kids that have they tried those games through emulators. So there is a lot to be said about the role that emulators have played in maintaining the popularity of those systems. Legally, yes, they're illegal. Sorry, that's the way it's going to be. That is the bottom line truth. But there's a certain amount of legality that, you know, if everybody on the highway is driving 80 miles an hour and the speed limit is 65, speed limit is 65 around here some places, I think. Speed limit is 65. Everybody's driving 80 miles an hour. The flow of traffic is going 80 miles an hour. Somebody who's going 65 miles an hour, the speed limit actually looks slow. Is almost a hazard, you know, especially somebody going 55 miles an hour. They're going under the speed limit. They would be almost like a hazard because they are on the road and they are going significantly slower than everybody else. So the flow of traffic is moving at 80 miles an hour. It doesn't change the fact that everybody is breaking the speed limit law. Yes, everybody is agreed to do it. Everybody is doing it, and that is the way it is going to be. But the legality is that everybody is going over the speed limit. That's just a fact, and I don't understand why people are arguing that. But all right, let me go back to some of these. Life is whatever you make it. But yeah, Mendez, like I said, I'm like 99% sure I'm going to Video Game Con. He has a lot of disagreeable opinions, but he has the right to have them. Yeah. Just sucks that 90% of the people who discuss that opinion. Yeah, exactly. It sucks that they would get so angry over it. If you disagree, you disagree. Yeah, so something like Mother 3 does get... And the Hawario, something like Mother 3. The only reason people know about something like Mother 3 is because there's a ROM out there. If they put that game out, it would sell like crazy. But the only reason it would sell like crazy is because people know about it, and the only reason they know about it is because of ROMs. That can't be ignored. But, again, that does not affect the legality of what's going on. Biting the bullet and talking about... Yeah, well, man, if Mambo, it actually dips his toe into something that happened last week, and I'm kind of curious about that. Because it dips his toe into intellectual property. Important but illegal, but also inevitable regardless. Yeah, Mama, that's a great summary of it all. It's a very see Rocks. No, I don't think it's a gray area. I think it is blatantly. Against the rules. I think that whether or not companies should start pursuing ways to shut it down is a gray area. Not legally, but just from a business money-making standpoint, that's the only gray area. The legality of it is not a gray area to me. There's nothing gray about that. It is illegal. Whether or not companies should be doing anything about it, that's the gray area. It's like Pornhub. People post lewd adult content there for free, and technically you're illegally watching someone else's work while they don't make the money. I don't know. CT, I don't know if that actually, because as they post it to that site, I think they get like ad revenue and stuff. I know that sounds weird to talk about with porn, but I think porn also works the same way. I think that when you post videos, there is an element of ad revenue that comes to you. And I suppose the traffic discussion always had. Yeah, Minion. And you know what, Minion? I was on the 95 when I thought about that. Emulation isn't illegal if you rip the ROM. If you rip the ROMs for your own car. But Steven C., come on. we know that didn't happen. Yeah, do you realize it doesn't indirectly contribute to that promotion? Yeah, it Spider. Yeah, I if anything, it's like promotion. It's like free promotion for. ROMs are like word of mouth. Essentially, ROMs are, you say, hey, here's a cool game. I'm gonna share this cool game with you, and your friends try it, and then they like that game, and then later on down the line, when they release it on an actual system or they give it an HD upgrade or something like that, people can say, oh man, I played that game, I love it, and that's how they know about it. Emulators for convenience. Only want to stream it if I don't have means to stream or set up. Yeah, I Lady Foxheart, when I first started streaming, I was using emulators, and I was trying to only play games that I did own, but I was using emulators. and it was just for the convenience. I didn't have a capture card or anything, so it was just more convenient that way. Their legal what I use as a way to test games out. I never got to grow. Yeah, with GBA and PS2. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of ROMs for games that I now own. God, you're a Valley girl. Let's see. Paying $1,000 for one game just yeah, the Siberian Ninja. There are a few games that I played like that just because of that. Excuse me. Pornhub for porn. Yeah, you should be using Pornhub to watch anime episodes and stuff like that, because that's hilarious that stuff ends up on there. I think the thing is that because so many people emulate games, it's hard for game companies to get. Yeah, they're never going to be able to. They're never going to be able to go after individual people. It's like the Napster thing. If you guys are old enough to remember all the Napster stuff, I mean, I'm sure you are, but the Napster stuff and all of that, they were talking about tracking IPs and going after individual users and stuff. Come on, you're not going to file a lawsuit against 50 million people. It's not going to happen. You know, but they can go after the websites that are providing that stuff. And let's be honest here. Let's get this. Let's make something very absolutely clear. ROMs aren't going anywhere. They're out there. They exist. They're not going anywhere. All of this has happened before, and all of this will happen again. That's a Battlestar Galactica reference. But it always happens. They get shut down, or they take all. There were a couple ROM sites that didn't have any Nintendo systems. All they had was everything else, and then it just something else comes up, and something else has what everybody's looking for. It happens. Napster was getting me thinking about the Metallica court case. Mendez, Napster was a file sharing that everybody was using for music, but they were trading free music. I remember Napster. That takes me all the way back. P2P file sharing. Yeah, but that got okay. So let me talk about what happened. Yeah, Cool Roms did that years ago. Let me talk about what happened last week. And you guys can help me out. I've got some artists. I got some artists in here. I know that there's some artists in the chat, and if when I upload this to YouTube, there'll be some artists that can hopefully watch this and comment down to let me know how they feel about this. I posted a comic or something. It was a funny picture, but you could tell that somebody had drawn it for themselves, like it was fan art or something, and it had the tag for the person. It had like their artist tag on there. I think it even had the website for them, either a website or an email address for them. And it was a fun. Let me see if I remember. See if I have it on here and I could see exactly what it was. Oh, it was a. No, I'm sorry. This picture did not have. It didn't have the tag on there. It was a funny Steven Universe picture, and I used something different than that. Mendez, did you use iMesh or Livewire? Was it Livewire or LimeWire? But I posted this picture, and it was a funny comic. I thought it was funny, so I posted it up there, and I said, "Artist unknown." I tried to track down the artist. I found it on Pinterest, so I tried to track the source of the picture, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So LimeWire, yeah, there you go. So I couldn't find it, so I posted the picture anyway, and I posted that artist was unknown, that it wasn't me. Some people laughed, and I got some likes and stuff, and it was nothing too serious. And then somebody, of course, they jumped in and they commented, "Oh, well, you shouldn't be posting this because you don't know if the original artist wanted people to see this or not." And I said, oh, yeah, but I didn't take any credit for it. I said that the artist was unknown. I actually did try and look for the artist, but I couldn't find it because I was going to link to their Tumblr or whatever the heck it was that it had the picture on it. And I couldn't find it. And I'm like, yeah, but still, you shouldn't do that. So I got annoyed and I deleted the picture. I'm at a point now where I'm like terrified to If you haven't heard of an image searching, Mambo, I tried that. And all it did was send me back to the Pinterest link. I couldn't find that picture anywhere else. For whatever reason, it didn't come up in the searches. I'm like terrified to post things now. I'm afraid to post anything, and I've never posted a picture that I claimed as my own or anything like that. I've always posted it that it was funny and that I saw it somewhere. I don't crop out names or anything like that. I have posted little comics, and then at the bottom it's got the web page that it came from and stuff. I've done stuff like that. I'm like afraid to post anything now. What are the rules about posting things that I find online? Because if I make a meme, I've made memes before. I've made funny pictures and stuff that are they're mix-ups of other pictures. I did one with Samus where it's like check out that ass, but it's just like the 8-bit pixel butt. It's just this shape, but it's orange, and it's I used assets and I created that picture. So what is the etiquette for, like, am I just never posting anything ever again? Like I'm not trying to rage or anything. I don't understand what the rules are, because I see people post it all the time. So why is it that I posted a funny picture and I blatantly said that it wasn't mine, but somebody had to come after me in the comments? You were in the right as long as you posted who drew it and where others could find that artist. Yeah, that's the artist. Yeah, see, the artist, I tried to track down the original web page that the art came from, and for whatever reason I couldn't find it. It can be hard because sometimes save images but not remember who the artist is. That's why we sign our work and have a badge, etc. to give source credit. I try to make it legible so we can read it. If they post it to the internet, of course they want it to be shown. Yeah, okay, Lady Fox. See, I'm curious about that, because I've heard people argue like that before. I've literally heard people say just because they posted it online doesn't mean they want everybody to see it. I don't understand that. Reverse image search. Yeah, Mendez, I know what you're talking about. You can drag the image right into the search bar. It didn't come up. If you aren't claiming that the picture is yours, then the person who assumes you did and flips out about it is at fault. Artists typically have a do not repost or please include credit in their bios. Yeah, this came off of Pinterest. Pinterest is really weird. Pinterest you can link from other sites, but when you click the picture, it will take you to the original source. The problem is that if the original source is deleted, the picture will remain on Pinterest, and then you can't search back to anything else. So basically this picture is on Pinterest and that's pretty much it. When I tried to do an image search, the only result that comes up is the Pinterest search. So it loops me back. I guess they had deleted their page maybe, or the page moved so the original link wasn't there. I don't know what the actual law. I don't know about Mambo. I'm not too sure about law. I'm at this point. I'm just curious about etiquette. Most people would just work on a. Tell me if you don't like this being posted. I think if I was being safe, I would write down that I do not know the credit or simply. Yeah, see, but Spider, that's what I did. I posted in the post that I don't know. I couldn't find who the artist was. Reposting art is bad. Memes are a gray area depending on the person. Yeah, see, I don't know. But that's the thing. It wasn't just picture. That's one thing I should clarify. It wasn't just a cool art piece. It was a little comic. Oh, it was okay. For any Steven Universe fans out there, it was Connie asking Pearl, Sensei, what are we gonna learn today? And Pearl had this look in her face, and she's like, "You call me that one more time, and I'm not teaching you anything." It's because like people think that Connie's a weeb, because there was an episode where she said "itadekimasu," which is the Japanese like "let's eat," and she is not Japanese, so there's no reason. So everybody hated that, like it's a weeby moment. And this was like the comic was playing off of that joke. So that was why I posted. It wasn't just like cool. Cool fan art. I won't post at all unless I have a link to the person. Excuse me. I still am not completely well. If you're admitting it is your picture and someone else, you're not taking credit for it, instead giving credit to the person that actually made it. Yeah, you see, and I'm thinking that's you're not wrong here. I think that's the problem. I think that this is where the gray area is in that. Speaking of gray areas, I admitted that it wasn't mine, but I did not have. I tried to find the original artist, but couldn't find out who they were. So I think that's the gray area. So if I can't find who the artist is, I'm not going to bother at all anymore. Mostly Japanese artists will say, do not repost, and I respect. Yeah, yeah. Original character, do not steal. Hold on a second. Yeah, I always do the original character, do not steal, when it's always something stupid. How animators have to watermark their work because, say, for example, for anyone who saw the SpongeBob anime parody, the guy who did it openly shared how much that got copied. And yeah, even Johnny had that happen where the closet gag from one of the Five Nights at Freddy's videos, it was like immediately posted by somebody else. General consensus about Pinterest from artists I follow is is it really? That's actually a very interesting. The Hawaria, that's a very interesting topic. Is it really? Is it because I like that Pinterest sends you back to the. If you click the picture, you can send it. It'll take you to where the source page is. The problem is that if that page moves or gets deleted, the picture remains on Pinterest and the link will actually say pin not found or something. It won't lead you to anywhere. You're in the right as long as you don't take credit and give it when you can. If it's a special picture for a specific people, and that's a shame. That's okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, I knew that I claimed that it wasn't mine, but I couldn't figure out where the other one was. Best thing about Pinterest is when you get a Google image search result that's a Pinterest link to another Google image. Yeah, and that's the worst part of that, Mambo. Then again, from what I noticed is that the SU fan base is toxic. Yeah, he didn't seem to be upset about it being a Steven Universe post specifically. It seemed to be about the fact that it was clearly a fan art drawn comic, and I didn't know who the artist was. It didn't seem to be specifically because it was Steven Universe. And Johnny never played FNAF again. Yeah, I didn't realize that Pinterest, I mean, for fan art, there's tons of fan art on there, but there's tons of other stuff too. I mean, there are links to other articles and things like that. There are comics, memes. It's funny because a lot of people will, like, I see memes going around on Twitter, and 95% of the time I already saw them on Pinterest, which I'm surprised that Pinterest is still so popular. I see the only problem I have with people watermarking their artwork is the giant watermark right in the center of the artwork. It rocks. It depends. If you're watermarking your artwork dead center and very blatantly because you sell your artwork, I absolutely get that. I had a problem with a Metroid, a Samus picture that is gorgeous. One of my favorite Samus pictures of all time, but it's fan art. I went to the guy's Tumblr. I found out who it was. I tracked it back to his Tumblr. I found the image on the Tumblr. Everything is watermarked. I found the image on the Tumblr. He said that he sold those images, that he sold like posters and stuff like that. Contacted him multiple times and never got a response back. And I was dying to buy a large, like I wanted a 24 by 36 poster of this artwork. Could not get in touch with him. You know, but I could have easily taken that image, had the watermark removed, and went to a poster shop or went to Kinko's or whatever and said, hey, can I get a poster of this? But I personally am like, I have too much integrity to do that. Like, I wanted to keep contacting this guy.
And I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
Fex, right? Fex? Yeah. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, like, I could have done that. Be back later, going to drive home. Good for you, Mendez, for not listening and driving. But yeah, I could have done that, and I didn't. I won't. And I would not do that. But it's like I want that poster. Pictures is too confusing for me to use anyway, so I get the dislike. Oh, Minion Pinterest isn't actually very difficult to use. I like Pinterest. I think the problem with Pinterest for artists is that people repost art there without linking to the original. But I don't use Pinterest on that. Yeah, well, no, Warrior. The way Pinterest works is that you go to a website and you see a picture on a website. I can go to somebody's Tumblr or something like that. I have a pin button on my browser toolbar. I click the pin button, and what the pin button will do is it will search the page that you're on for all of the images that are on there. I can pick an image. That image will then, I can upload it to my Pinterest page. That image contains a link back to the original page. So what I can do is go through Tumblr, like artist Tumblrs or something like that. I think some of the other websites, I think you can do it with Patreon and stuff. No, because Patreon you have to pay for access. But it won't bypass access. It won't bypass any kind of paid access. But I can go to somebody's Tumblr who has a lot of artwork. Maybe they even sell some of that artwork. Pin one of their pictures, and then when someone sees it on Pinterest, they can click it, and it will take them right to the Tumblr page where that picture is, so that they can contact the artist. Because I've done that before. Is Pin? Yeah, CT. I'm still surprised that Pinterest is a thing. A lot of people are angry over High Guardian Spice, the new original cartoon of Crunchyroll, because one of the creators is controversial, and the show preaches that men are hateful creatures. I don't blame people for watermarking their art like that. Yeah, you know what's funny? Okay, well, I have another question that I want to ask you in response to something like that. The art is being sold. Yes, Wario. Obviously, that is out of the question. Selling other art and stuff like that. Obviously, that is out of the question. A lot of times, the artwork is in low quality for some reason. Yeah, it depends. You can only get a high quality version if you click the link to the original. Well, you know what, Rox? I don't mind clicking the link to the original because that's, to me, what Pinterest is for. I'm supposed to be able to go to the original, give that web page a view, and if it's an artist, check out some of their other work. Like, I think that that's what you're supposed to be doing. Big watermarks in the centers on basically every style. Yeah, I know. What's the big one? What's the big stock photo company? I've actually seen people take pictures of themselves and add the watermark from. It's a big stock photo company. Stock photo. Shutterstock. I've actually seen people take pictures of themselves and add the Shutterstock watermark just to be a smart ass. All right. Let's talk about watermarks. Remind me of Okami box art with noticeable IG. Oh, God, I hate that stuff. There's like 900 million stock photos. Yeah, I think people... Yeah, Minion. That's what I love. I'm saying that they do it as a joke, and I love it. I get a kick out of it. Okay. So, what are your thoughts on tagging your own artwork? Not necessarily watermark. What are your thoughts on tagging in some way memes that you make? Last week, when the Smash reveal happened, and Luigi got killed, and everybody was up in arms about it. I posted a picture that I actually created myself of. It's the opening of Castlevania 1, the first screen when he walks in front of the castle, so it's the castle in the background and him in front of the gate. And I cropped out the Luigi from the Mario, the Hotel Mario meme, it sure was nice of the princess to invite us to the castle. I put Luigi in front of the gate, and I said, like, it sure was nice for Dracula to invite me to his castle. Got tons of retweets, tons of likes. Would I have been in the right to find the little spot on there and mark it USG or Uncle Silver? Because obviously that's not hand-drawn, but that is a picture that I created myself. It's a meme that I created. Yeah, I remember you posting it. Yeah, I created that myself. So would I have been in the right to put a little watermark in the corner or put a little note, a little spot somewhere. So yeah, that. Yeah, the CDI police would be outside your house now. You made $5 on a meme. Well, no, you know what, CT? I was not. I'm obviously not expecting to make any money from that. But you know what happens is that stuff gets viral. People start to it's those are the memes where you see, or the pictures where it's like thousands and thousands of likes and retweets, and then the next the attached reply is like, hey, give me a follow over on here. Like it's basically self promotion. Can own memes. That's not how they work, but yes, you can watermark your own. Yeah, see, and that's why I'm curious. Like, I don't know the etiquette. I don't know where the line is on some of the. I'm not really sure actually. Maybe, yeah, see, I don't know. There was another picture that I did. I have to imagine that I'm not the only one that did this, but I did a picture. Remember when Microsoft and when the Fortnite stuff happened, when Sony didn't want to play with everybody else. You can't play Fortnite on other systems if you have it on the PS4 and all of that. So Microsoft and Nintendo posted a thing where it says it's the green for Microsoft for Xbox, and it says survive, and then it's the red for Nintendo Switch, and it says together. So I made a blue screen with the PS4 logo that just said no on it, and that went around like crazy. Yeah, play together. That's what it was. Yeah, I made that screen. I'm sure there were other people that made that screen, so I'm not claiming ownership of the idea. But the one that I posted, I had made myself. So I'm wondering, like, is that okay? That other why is it okay that image that I made gets shared, but what is if I hand drew it myself? That would change it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking for an answer here because I know that it's a very difficult question. I think everybody's going to have their own answer to it. I'm just curious as to like I said, I'm curious as to the etiquette of what goes into it. Would I have been wrong or to put a watermark on there? You know what I mean? Like, it's just very strange. I feel like it's such a, I feel like there's so many directions the conversation can go that there'll never be a solid answer. No watermark because anybody can create that content. I like that, Rye. I like that answer. I guess the difference is the amount of effort originally involved. Yeah, and Mambo, that's why I will never watermark a meme or something like that. I make memes and I just put them online. It's just funny. Like, if I get a like, that means somebody enjoyed it. That's fine for me. You know, that's all I really care about. Yeah, how much effort goes into it. Yeah, because, okay, how much effort goes into it? The one where the trumpet kid, the kid that plays the trumpet, and then he's always like, he's harassing the girl, and then it's edited. It's a video. It's always like a 30-second video. That's basically a meme. But that meme takes a lot of effort. You have to put the music in there. You have to sync it up. You have to record the video file of you moving the character around. Like, that takes a lot of effort. You know, it's just so strange. So I've never heard of anyone being mad about watermarking a meme. But have you ever heard of somebody watermark? I don't think I've ever seen a meme that had a watermark in the corner so you know where it came from. I suppose it's an unwritten thought of when you can see the effort of someone. Okay. But ultimately, and that's the problem, Spider. How do you judge that? How do you determine what effort? First of all, okay, let's ignore the fact that sometimes it takes a whole lot of art and graphic knowledge and all of that stuff. The bottom line is someone had an idea that no one else had. That right there is personal property. If I have an idea for a meme, that Luigi picture that I posted, I have not seen another picture like that. So apparently I had an idea that no one else had. Regardless of how much or how little effort it took to make that picture, the idea alone can be credited as mine. Know your yeah, you'd be up on Know Your Meme. There's people sending hate and threats to the Little League team from Georgia after beating teams in the elimination round. Yeah, regardless of the controversy, memes have gone too far. Making it the King K rule. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Anyone can create art, but people can still watermark it. There are the peach from Peachtree City. Okay. Yeah, compare that to the annoyed bird variation I made for Express. Oh yeah, I love the annoyed bird. Yeah, it just I don't know. I feel like it's an interesting conversation. I feel like it's a conversation without an answer. I think that a lot of people are just going to go however they feel like going with it. I mean, obviously this is not a money situation. That's the thing. You know, when it comes to watermarking art, when no one's going to take that Luigi picture and put it in a picture form and put it on the wall. No one's going to do that. Fan art, well-drawn character fan art. Someone can print that out and post that on their wall. There is money to be had in selling fan art. But something just occurred to me now. We have had this discussion about intellectual property. We had the discussion about ROMs. We had the discussion about the idea that taking an idea and making it your own. Some people think that it's stealing. Some people think that it's fair game. When you, and this is the one, I don't even know if we're going to talk about. We probably can't even have a discussion about this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I want to say it to get your mind moving. Do you think that someone stealing intellectual property and making it their own is okay? If you don't think it's okay, if you think that no, the intellectual property belongs to other people, then what are your thoughts on somebody creating fan art of a character that is created by someone else and then selling that fan art? Yes, the artwork and the idea for whatever's happening in the picture may be the original, maybe an original idea from the artist, but the character that is the subject is someone else's intellectual property. That is a gigantic gray area. That is all gray area. that is right. Intellectual property just means somebody else's idea. Nintendo created Mario. So if I sell a coffee mug with Mario's face on it, I am selling, they never made the coffee mug, but I am selling their intellectual property as a product and making a profit of it on my own. Memes only become a money situation years after they die out of touch. Since you have the ability to download fan art directly from Google instead of going to the source, people can easily print out that fan art and make their own posters out of it. And then there's also people selling remixed music. I never understand how that works legally. Can you ask to use it first? No. Diego, go to a convention and go to some artist's table and flip through his book, and I promise you 100% that there are going to be tons of pictures in there of characters that they did not contact the company and get permission to draw. She makes videos such as Legacy of Failures and lolcows in sports. Okay. Japanese fan artists don't like people tagging official sources because they can have it shut down. Yeah, I think that when you start talking about, that's why this whole discussion, I guess, is about intellectual property and what. Oh, good. I should probably put that in the title. This whole discussion, in hindsight, is about intellectual property and where the gray area is, because there are gray areas. You're right. Remixing video game music, taking those sounds, those combinations, because anybody will tell you, I think there's like 4 or 5 guitar chords. Most guitar music consists of those 4 chords. Anybody who is a guitarist out there will probably know that better than I will. But there's like certain chords that are prevalent in all guitar music, all over music. It's combining those in specific ways that it becomes intellectual property, that it becomes copywritten music. When you start taking snippets of that and you start making your own song, you are now taking property that someone else created and creating your own property out of it. So where is the gray area? The only game of tag when you tag and lose. If it contains any copywritten material at all, it's illegal and should not, and it's still not your intellectual property. That's legal because look at the artists' cons. They sell galleries upon galleries of fictional characters, even porn of that. No. Right, they do sell galleries of fictional characters, but they also, most artist tables will have books of copywritten characters. Mario, Samus, Link, Master Chief, sexy characters from other things. They are all, they don't own those characters. They did not create those characters, but they draw artwork of them. We've all got, I think most of us have it. I have Hatsune Miku posters. I have some funny, I have a Link poster. I have a Samus poster. They were all purchased from artists, the artists that did those pictures, but they did not obviously create those characters. You've seen an amiibo creator named Grand Kiss. She makes amiibos that are legit, even the package. Yes, Siberian Ninja. I've also seen a horror amiibo where the people, they take the amiibo that exists as they are and they cut them up and everything, and then they make them like horror scenes, like Pikachu eating a Voltorb or something. Like it'll be something weird like that. Like they do that. They're not like 3D printing them. They are using original amiibo and then ripping them up and then selling it back in a certain way. So that sort of becomes you are selling. In fact, in that situation, you are selling artwork, a creation of a character in a way that the original content creator never intended, that they might not approve of. I don't think a lot of people will approve. I don't think the creators of Kirby will approve of pictures of Kirby eating the skulls of his enemies or something like that. Sounds super cool. But realistically, because of the cutesy nature of the character, I imagine 100% of the time, if you ask the creators, can you do this, they're going to say no. Sexy Master Chief. CT, I've seen him. Sexy Master Chief. Sexy male Master Chief. Sexy female Master Chief. Reproduction cards, and they're 9,000% illegal. They are way illegal. Here's why I'm going to feel conscious making this question revolve around something I've done, but this has always been on my mind for a very long time. The FTC, our animated video, would I be in the wrong if I monetize it because it's in their voices there? See, yeah, Spider, if you asked their permission and they said yes, that's absolutely fine. If you did it without their consent, Game Grumps. Game Grumps has animators that do their stuff all the time, and I'm almost 100% sure that the Grumps allow it. But if they did not, where's the gray area? You are now taking property that belongs to somebody else. Even though it has been posted into a public forum that is the internet, that still is an issue of where is the line here? Doesn't that fan art and remix music fall under fair use? I don't know, Wario. That's a legal question. That's something that I wouldn't know. What constitutes fair use? Because if the original source came from Nintendo, I don't think Nintendo is giving away their IPs. They're not giving away any of their properties. When you see fan art of a Samus fighting a rock monster, that clearly came from Metroid Prime 1, right? 1? Yeah. That is absolutely inspired by the original art, by the original source material. Rule 34 is everywhere. Copyright laws are so fuzzy that I'm not even sure anyone actually... Yeah, I don't think anybody really understands them. I feel like it's glorified fan art for fans to be introduced to a world of diversity that the company may never do. Like look at those fan art books of Fire Emblem and Zelda. Oh yeah, I absolutely acknowledge that is the effect that it has. But a company, this is where it goes back to the ROM discussion. the effect that it has is that it introduces people to this world. But legally, do they have a right to say, we need you to shut this down? Fan-made highlight reels of someone. Yeah, fan-made highlight reels of someone else's Let's Play. It's yeah. At the end of the day, it's to the whims. Yeah, pretty much. Samus working at Burger King. Yeah, it's to the whims of the original IP holder. Yeah, it's just I think it's just a very interesting. Oh, it's like how H3H3 got sued for showing them talking over someone else's videos, and the case was settled because the video they created was transformative. Oh, is that what it is? Well, there was the issue before where I'm gonna butcher this. I know I'm gonna butcher this. Jimmy Kimmel posted an image or a scene from Family Guy. I don't remember it exactly. If somebody else knows that, they can correct me on this. Jimmy Kimmel posted a scene from an episode of Family Guy. Fox's YouTube channel got a copyright strike for copywriting a bit from Jimmy Kimmel. The bit that they got copywritten from was their scene on his show. That is 50 shades of gray area. I think I'm pretty sure that that's exactly what happened. That Fox got it was something like that. Like they got copyright, or if it wasn't Fox, it was something else. But that was what had happened. Somebody else had technically illegally posted a clip from somewhere, and then the original source got copywritten because they were saying that clip that they had on their page was originally from Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, I think it was Fox. I think that was the scenario. You guys can look it up. To be clear, 'cause I would have looked it up, but I wasn't expecting to talk about it. Oh yeah, Wario, it's a YouTube problem, but the fact that it's a YouTube problem means that it is not something that is completely clear cut. Oh, I got a copyright strike once, or a content ID, on one of my episodes of Soul Blazer. I did a Let's Play of Soul Blazer for the SNES, and I got a content ID on one of my episodes for the music. The content ID came from a channel that takes retro video game music and puts it into stereo, like mono sound. It cleans up the audio, like it remasters the audio. It's the same exact audio, but it remasters it and then it re-uploads it. They were not the original creators of the music either, but I got content ID'd from them because I was playing the game. And it was weird because it was only one episode. Ted brought up the gray area of fan-made BSC highlight reels yesterday, actually. Yeah. So a fan uploaded a clip from Family Guy. Jimmy used the clip from the fan, which was the Family Guy, yeah, which was the IP of Fox animated, which then went to Jimmy. Yeah. CT, it's so confusing. What if someone makes a hentai of pre-existing character and posts it on? I don't know, but I'll have to check that website later to see what you're talking about. For research purposes, I want to check that website for the articles. When a piece of work used in form a review and study, yeah, it becomes transferable. Well, yeah, I know Hawk Goggles. I know that there is a if it's parody or if it is review. I know that those are that becomes fair use. Please no porn links. I got content ID on one of my Smash uploads from Nintendo's official because it had Woolly World. Yeah, I've gotten content ID. If you guys ever watched my Zelda 1 playthrough, I sung my own music for the whole game because I got content ID for the music. So I sung my own music, muted out the music from the game, and then just added my own tracks. Use incognito mode if you go. Always do. Hey, Ace Trainer. Extended research. I can't deal with this. I'll warn you right now. No, don't worry, Haunted Bone. I'm not going to do that. I get all my porn somewhere else. Uncle Acapella. Yeah, I think that I think that because of the internet, because of the way information spreads, because of how fast information spreads, I think that and because of the voluntary nature of information, you know, if I stand out on a street corner and I shout my phone number as loud as I can, and someone else now knows my phone number, I don't have the right to tell them, you can't have my phone number. If I go online, knowing what the internet is, knowing how fast information spreads, and I post a picture and I start seeing my picture on other websites, as long as they're not selling it, if I start seeing that, how much of a right do I have to say, you need to take that picture down? But you posted it freely online. So it is once you do that, it's there. The internet is not new. It's well over 20 years old on the regular consumer market. It's actually much older than that. So at this point, you have to know how it works. It's just I don't know. I think it's a very I met Rabbit Luigi at Gamescom. Ooh, we'll have to get into that after, because I do want to ask you about Gamescom. One of my favorite genres of music is hip hop, and that lives off sampling other songs. That being said, those samples are super short. Yeah, Hawkeye, I know that there's a rule, like the sample can be less than 1 second. There used to be my understanding is of how it worked anyway, was that if it was less than a certain amount of time, it was okay. If it's an original work, then you legally own all rights. But you'd be naive to think it wouldn't spread it. Yeah, that's the thing. You have plenty of rights to take it down. It's your own personal photo, but it's not your own personal photo anymore. You purposely share it with the public. You made it public. So I'm curious what again, if somebody's trying to make a profit off of it, I feel like that's where you can step in and say absolutely not. But if you purposely put it online, and you put it on Twitter, a format that is all about retweeting and liking and sharing, I feel like that has the grayness of that has to start coming into question. They also sometimes contact the when they contact we're not talking about when they contact the artist, because obviously when they contact the original creator and the creator says okay, there's no legality there's nothing wrong. Although I will complain that if somebody you know what, I have another topic about this, and this one I have had come up before. Making cosplay of fan art versions of characters. Here comes this. We're gonna end it after this. And again, we're not gonna be able to get an answer for this, but I want you to consider this. This is the gray area of all gray areas. Are you ready for this? You are creating a costume out of someone else's idea for fan art that they created. But that fan art that they created is based off of intellectual property that came from a different company's character. I make a fan art version of Link and someone makes that cosplay. I have an idea to do a marathon retrospective of everything in the MCU leading up to episode 4. Carefully researching the rules and things to do with movie clips and still images. I still don't get in trouble. Cosplay for fan art based off original artwork. Sounds like Undertale fanfic. Talking about sexy Mario. Hot goggles. I did a combat Mario. I made a combat version of Mario, which is like it has the the super scope as a bazooka. He's got a beret instead of the regular hat on. I did some modifications to the costume, to the look of the costume. But I did a cosplay of a Combat Mario based off of a fan art that someone had created with, there was a Combat Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, and I think it was just those three. Admittedly, I didn't contact the artist to get permission from him, but did he contact Nintendo to get permission to draw a version of their character? You see what I mean? Like, it's very weird. Do you post your art on Twitter? I know she posted on Twitter. Too intense for a Friday afternoon. You see what I mean? Like, if it's still a use of a copywritten IP, then it's still illegal no matter what the case. Yeah, it's Steven C. And I it's one of those things where, like, yeah, legally it's all illegal. Legally, everybody's doing something wrong. There you go. I think that's the ultimate. I think, okay, there's your pondering. This is your ponderance that I want you to take with you at the end of this episode. I want you to try and remember this structure as best you can. I want you to try and remember it. You have an original, a company creates a character. Someone draws a fan art version of that character without permission. Someone else creates a cosplay of that fan art without their permission. That cosplayer sells pictures of them in that costume. Out of the three parties, well, out of the other two parties, where is the wrong? Is there anybody doing anything right? Well, hold on, Swab. I'll go back and read that, but we're about to cut for the half of the show, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna be opening up some games. So I want to ask you about it then, because that's always the viewer topic portion. So it's like fan art drew a fake power-up costume of Kangaroo Mario, their original idea. Then a fan series sees it and then cosplays as the Kangaroo Mario. Yeah, cloning time. I have a serious question. Who's that? Hasso. Hasso. Before we go, Hasso, what's your question? What's your question? If it is a viewer-based question, we'll cut for a few minutes. We always cut for a few minutes, and then when we come back, we will discuss that. Selling pictures, assuming it's all without consent, is the worst part. Yeah, see, but see, Wario, and then that's the trick. Is selling those pictures a slight against the fan art creator or against the original owner of that character? It's so I don't expect an answer. I'm not asking for an answer. I want you to ponder that with you. I want you to take that with you. But I want to see what Hasso's question is. Assuming it's a quick question, we'll most likely take it. I want to start streaming, but I don't know where streamers use the same name for their emails, or do they try to hide it like so? Hasso, I'll tell you what, Hasso. Why don't we'll discuss that? Why don't we talk about that? I'm gonna break for a few minutes, and then when I come back, we do something else here for the second half of the show. I open up some and clean up some of my Nintendo games, and then I do viewer topics. We will revisit that topic. That'll be the first thing we talk about when we come back. Just give me a few minutes, and we will get into that, because that is actually an interesting topic. Okay. So yeah, we will be right back. If you're watching this on YouTube, keep an eye out for the next part of the episode getting uploaded. And if you're watching this right now, just hang out for a few minutes, and we will be right back.